Unemployment occurs when a person who is actively searching for employment is unable to find work. Unemployment is often used as a measure of the health of the economy. The most frequent measure of employment is the unemployment rate, which is the number of unemployed people divided by the number of people in the labor force. Unemployment occurs when workers who want to work are unable to find jobs, which lowers economic output. However, they still require subsistence. High rates of unemployment are a signal of economic distress, but extremely low rates of unemployment may signal an overheated economy. Unemployment can be classified as fractional, classical, structural, or institutional. Unemployment data are collected and published by government agencies in a variety of ways. Unemployment is a key economic indicator because it signals the ability or inability of workers to readily obtain gainful work to contribute to the productive output of the economy. More unemployed workers mean less total economic production will take place than might have otherwise. Unlike in the capital, unemployed workers still need to maintain at least subsistence consumption during their period of unemployment. This means an economy with high unemployment has lower output without a proportional decline in the need for basic consumption. High, persistent unemployment can signal serious distress in an economy and even lead to social and political upheaval. There are four main types of unemployment, and the first is fractional unemployment. Fractional unemployment occurs as a result of people volunteering technological changes such as the replacement of horse-drawn transport by employment among workers displaced from jobs that are no longer needed. Retraining these workers can be difficult, costly, and time-consuming, and displaced workers often ended up either unemployed or for extended period or leaving the labor force entirely. And the last one is seasonal unemployment. Seasonal unemployment is when people who work in seasonal jobs become unemployed when demand for labor decreases. This typically occurs when a specific time of year ends or a new season begins, such as for a holiday or due to weather change. For example, someone who works at a resort during the summer might experience unemployment once the fall arrives and summer facilities have to close. Seasonal unemployment often takes place in locations that see high volume of tourists, as different tourist extraction can close or slow their operation depending on the time of year and season. This is especially true for tourist attraction that exist outdoors, as they might only be able to operate during certain types of weather.
The unemployment rate continued to decline in April 2021, lessening by 0.1 percentage point to 4.6% as against the previous month, March 2021, 4.7%. the number of unemployed persons reduced by 10,500 persons, negative 1.4% month-on-month to register 742.7 thousand persons. March 2021, 753.2 thousand persons. Similarly, comparing with the same month of the previous year, after posting continuous increase for 14 months since the beginning of the pandemic, the unemployment rate recorded year-on-year negative changes for the first time due to the high base of an unemployment rate, April 2020, 5.0%. During the same period, the number of unemployed persons recorded a decline of 4.6% or equivalent to 36.1 thousand persons, April 2020, 778.8 thousand persons. The actively unemployed, which is defined as those who were available for work and were actively seeking job, encompass of more than 80% of the total unemployed person. This category was reduced by 8.2 thousand persons, negative 1.3% to record 618.7 thousand persons. March 2021, 626.9 thousand persons. Out of the total of actively unemployed, 52.1% were unemployed for less than 3 months, while 10.4% were in long-term unemployment of more than a year. The average share of the unemployed persons of more than a year was much higher as compared to the previous year, thus indicating that the country is experiencing a slow term in hiring the unemployed persons. The same scenario was witnessed in the number of inactively unemployed who believed that there were no jobs available. The number was lowered by 2.3 thousand persons, negative 1.8% for the second consecutive months to record 124,000 persons. March 2021, 126.3 thousand persons. During the month, the youth unemployment rate for age 15 to 24 years registered an increase of 0.3 percentage points to record 13.7% as compared to March 2021, 13.4%. On the contrary, the number of youths unemployed fell by 0.4 thousand persons to 310.7 thousand persons as compared to the previous month, 321.1 thousand persons. Similarly, the youth unemployment rate for age 15 to 30 years dropped by 0.6 percentage points to mark 8.7% in March 2021.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Nur Anissa binti Ismail. I want to present about the factor of unemployment. First, lack of work experience. Most of those who apply for work are from people with less work experience. They are less experienced because they are young, or they have problems that do not allow them to have much work experience. They are also those who choose to work. As a result, they are unemployed and do not have much work experience. Second is lack of skills. Those who want to work in automotive, serving and engaging companies, they should have a skill certificate issued by the government and so on. So, to prove that they are skilled enough to work. However, most of them are not interested in being skilled as recommended because they are more inclined to work in office. Thus, lack of this skill is one of the causes of unemployment in Malaysia. Third is insufficient education levels. Among all those who want to work, they do not have enough education due to financial constraint that their parents have to provide. Most large companies will only appoint those with a minimum diploma education level. However, not everyone has the opportunity to continue their studies at the university in Malaysia, or they are not interested in continuing their study for fear of wasting time and think it is not important for the future. And last is skill incompatibility. Over or underskilling. A person can be simultaneously overqualified and underskilled. This often happens when the field of education does not correspond to the field of occupation. Skills obsolescence often accompanies digitalization and technological advancement, but can also occur when skills are not being regularly practiced and become obsolete after some. Both of these scenarios can be the results of changing demands in the labor market. Thank you, that's all for me.
The problem of unemployment in Malaysia is not strange. We can see from long ago this problem often occurred. But in this era of modernization, we can see the average employers is getting higher. There are some various ways to solve it. First, change in instruction technique. Production technique should suit the need and mean of the country. EAN sanctioned that labor-intensive technology should be encouraged in place of capital-intensive technology. Second, change in the education system. Education pattern should be completely changed. Students who have liking for higher studies should be admitted in college and university. Emphasis should be given on vocational education. Qualified engineers should start their own small unit. Third, full and more productive employment. The main objective of a country employment policy should be to increase employment opportunity and productivity of labor. Government should adopt a policy that provides employment to all people. Next, policy regarding seasonal unemployment. Seasonal unemployment is found in agriculture sector and agro-based industry. Employmental activity allied to agriculture such as dairy farming and animal husbandry to provide employment throughout the year. Promotion of multiple cropping, example, raising more than one crop on the same piece of land in a year by spread of irrigation, use of harmless fertilizers, and machinization. And last, more important to employment programs. In 5 years plans, more important should be given to employment. The program like irrigation, road, flow control, power agriculture, rural electrification can provide better employment to people.
As a final observation of the seasonal employment issue in Malaysia, we can conclude that this issue has been worse, especially during this pandemic COVID-19 season. Everyone has suffered from it. For this reason, it is high and persistent employment has a negative effect on individuals, the economy, and society as well. However, the government should take a look and take action on how to solve this problem. Based on how we understand seasonal employment, this occurs when a certain product cannot be produced during a certain season. Hence, many workers are temporarily laid off on a short-term basis during certain times of the year. It results from regular fluctuations in weather conditions, climatic changes, or changes in the trend of demand. Seasonal fluctuations in employment occurs in construction workers who will be unemployed during the rainy season, fishermen who are unable to fish during the monsoon season, or in the winter, and tourist workers who are unemployed during off-peak periods in some tourist areas. The solution is to have major seasonal industries which can share their labor force. More jobs can be created through diversification and integration of the economy in agricultural, manufacturing, construction, transportation, finance, insurance, and the services sectors. In our country right now, we are facing the pandemic of COVID-19, although we can't deny that everyone was having a hard time during this pandemic. Indeed, seasonal unemployment issues in Malaysia have gave the impact towards individual and economy, which is the unemployment causes financial and emotional difficulty for individuals. A loss of self-esteem can lead to melancholy, frustration, domestic violence, or even suicide. For the economy, unemployment indicates a loss of production as well as resources that are idle, not being used, and it also means that the economy is falling and the poverty will emerge as a result of protected unemployment. These effects are negative impact for the country as well. In addition, everyone, not just the government, should move ahead to control this problem so that it does not spread in the future. On the whole, as we can see, seasonal unemployment is a significant problem for any economy. When people are unemployed, their prospects of finding new work are reduced, which has negative repercussions for the unemployed. Those who are unemployed have less confidence in their ability to hold their jobs in the future. However, for total economic, government, and individual growth, the government must boost productivity and improve the standards of living.